Hey, what's up? My name is Dave, and as you know, I interpret everything. Today I'm going to be interpreting Don't Move, a brand new thriller film found on Netflix that stars Kelsey Asbille as Iris, a woman whose son recently died in a hike, falling to his death, making her contemplate about ending it the same exact way, unable to live without that piece of her. When she runs into Richard, played by Wittrock, who initially offers her friendship and an open ear. But after he talks her out of ending it all, he turns it around and he begins hunting her instead, injecting her with a paralyzing agent that gives her just 20 minutes to get away from him. And after that, it's kind of up to nature, the kindness of strangers, or possibly some police in proximity to help keep her alive. What's so interesting about the last two Netflix films that I watched, which was Woman of the Hour and Don't Move, I discovered in both scenarios the films had the same exact cinematographer, Zach Kuperstein. Sorry if I got that wrong. And that's really cool because this guy really does know how to capture the feel of a thriller. But more broadly, his ability to capture light and color and how these things make people feel on their own is something to keep an eye on. He hasn't exactly had a ton of feature-length credits in his name yet. The title that you might be the most familiar with is Barbarian, which I also recall having a nice sense of cinematography as well. As weird of a movie that was on its own. So in both cases, Woman of the Hour and Don't Move had pretty strong cinematography. Also in a big way, this fear of being incapacitated and literally out of control while you're being hunted by somebody that can be argued is also out of his mind is a heck of a psychological thrill ride the more that you think about it. And because Kelsey Asbille is playing a character who is entirely paralyzed for a majority of the movie means that she has to convey with more physical body language, or I suppose more so facial and especially eye language, if that's a thing. There's weight sitting on her shoulders with this film and making sure it works, which is a lot to ask of somebody that in a lot of ways isn't actually really doing anything the whole time. And she does a pretty good job. So does Wittrock as our resident psycho. Narratively and thematically, the film feels very much like a psychological thriller that might have come out 20 years ago, which sounds crazy when I say it, but think about all the mid-2000s thrillers like Red Eye that come to mind, for instance. Movies that don't have the strongest level of depth or time devoted to expanding on character development or drive, but focusing much more on just plain old fun thrills. Though, like I said, it does struggle in other departments that could have easily been approached better, like with that character development. And that's true for every single character in the movie, for which there's very few. For the most part, you'll really only see the two leads, and there's a couple of people that they run to along the way, none of which have a ton of development. It all felt rushed in order for the action of the story to happen. They give you just enough to go off, but past that, yeah, don't be expecting much more. That may make or break your experience, so I'm gonna just let you know that right now. Like for instance, our Psycho. His story doesn't make all that much sense, and I often felt like he was kind of an inconsistent character. The action is good though, the thrillers are great, the tension is definitely strong. If that's all that you're going for, I guarantee it'll be a good time. But if you're more so in the mood for something a tad more meaningful with a touch more actual story, this might not be for you. For this film, I'm gonna be giving it the benefit of the doubt though. I'm gonna rate it a B-, as I really do think that they achieved what they set out to do, which is always a positive. I think that there's some rewatchability factors here as well that a wide audience can appreciate, as you can focus on certain things like cinematography and a performance that is limited to very small body movements while paralyzed to tell a story. And that goes into a lot of different things that people may not immediately think about. But at the end of the day, these moments were made extremely well for what they were. But maybe I'm just not so but. So what did you guys think about this film? Were you a fan of Don't Move? Were you not? Let me know in the comment section down below. And as for YouTube, you guys know what to do. Hit the like, subscribe button, and bell to be notified when I come out with my next film review, whenever and whatever that may be. But until then, peace out.